when it turns, oh, what a moment when you're like, oh my God, I can't believe Nathan hit him and they're fighting and it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then when he throws him on the car the second time, you're like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
And he goes for the keys.
Yeah, it was so good.
And the moment, oh man, where you realize, you know, that was Nathan's way of putting them on the same team. And they have that sweet talk.
Yeah.
I really was interested in that because my first thought was, why do you think Nathan gave Lucas that piece of information about his childhood with Dan?
And that's a real story too. Like those dads are so prevalent. I grew up with 3 brothers playing Little League baseball, and then I cheered for football from 4th grade to my senior year in high school. And like those dads are real. The dad that will hurt you and humiliate you in front of an entire group of people, in front of all of your peers. That's a really real thing. And the way James delivered it was really effective because that humiliation lingers. You know, that's not something that you get to take back later as a parent.
Yeah. Why did he give that information to Lucas though? Out of all the posturing that they've been doing with each other and sort of constant playing chicken, and you know, why now? It would have been so easy for him to just keep going. Why did he give him that info?
Do you think after the father-son game? Because that was terrible.
Like it showed Nathan had a heart.
Yeah.
It did. And you said something about a common enemy earlier, Hillary. And Joy, your question is kind of making me connect some dots. They had this horrible experience at the father-son game that made them understand that they share this awful thing. And then they go to this game and they start beating the shit out of each other. And the minute that they get out and they're stranded and this other team comes along, it's almost like it gives them a reason to realize that they do have a common enemy. They're not each other's enemy, but they're coming at each other over the same issue over and over and over again. And the minute they're given someone else to focus their attention, their anger, their hurt, their letdown on, they're playing for the same team. It's really good structure. And while all that's happening out on the road, you see Dan and Keith fighting. And Deb going, our son got kicked out of a game for fighting with his brother. How original.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know, calling Dan out. It's like,
right.
you're the same. Why do you think he's like this? And so you're seeing these kind of, you know, this like dynastic long life moment. And then are the kids going to do the same thing or do it differently and do it better?
Did you see that? What? Nathan just gave her the nod.
What nod?
The let's cup after the game nod.
Talking about Nathan giving Haley the nod was a fun bit that came after that. What does it mean when a boy gives a girl the nod?
I don't know. It always feels a little cocky to me.
I mean,
Look.
It certainly felt charged. Because in the episode, I mean, come on, when he looks over at you and goes like, hey, everyone's like, oh, everybody feels it. Like, wow.
because he
that
didn't
was
do
a
it to
thing.
anybody else.
Nope.
Right. It feels good. I mean, it feels good to be on the receiving end of that nod.
Yeah, I mean, I just gave you a nod and you grinned. So.
See? I'm such a sucker. How you doing? You know what I
How
mean?
you
Like, just give me a little
doing?
Joey. I'm all there.
You're like, oh, hi.
Is that what you go for, Joy? Is it just like, cool, guys. We're out for the night. This one nodded. It's a go.
We're done.
I get it. Jeff was a nodder when I met him. He was real like,
Yeah.
oh, so cocky. Yeah. And the nod. I mean, even still, all these years later, like if we're at a function and we're across
it.
the room,
That's
and
my
you
favorite.
get that nod and you're like, you're goddamn right. Let's do
Yep.
this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
I don't know that,
so good.
Across a crowded room, that little quiet communication from your human, when you get the like, I see you, you're just like, yeah, you do. Keep looking.